At times they were kind, they were polite in their sophistication, smiling but never too loudly, acting in civilized manner, an illusion of gentleness, always fighting to get their way, while the people see, the people know, the people wait, the people say, the closing of your doors will never shut us out. The closing of your doors can only shut you in. We know the predator. We see them feed on us. We are aware to starve the beast is our destiny. The times they were kind, they were polite, but never honest. We see your technological society devour you before your very eyes. We hear your anguished cries exalting greed through progress. While you seek material advances, the sound of flowers dying, carry messages through the wind trying to tell you about balance and your safety. But your minds are chained to your machines, and the strings dangling from your puppeteer's hands, turning you, twisting you into forms and confusions beyond your control. Your mind for a job, your mind for a TV, your mind for a hairdryer, your mind for consumption. With your atom bombs, your material bombs, your drug bombs, your racial bombs, your class bombs, your sexist bombs, your ageist bombs, devastating your natural shelters, making you homeless on Earth, chasing you into illusions, fooling you, making you pretend you can run away from the ravishing of your spirit, while the sound of flowers dying carry messages through the wind, trying to tell you about balance and your safety, trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness, leading us into the trap, believe in their power, but not in ourselves, piling us with guilt, always taking the blame, greed chasing out the balance, trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness, economic deity seizing power. Through illusions created, armies are justified, class systems are democracy, God listens to warmongers' prayers, tyranny is here, divide and conquer, trying to isolate us in a dimension called loneliness, greed a parent. But we would like to talk to you. There are some things we need to straighten out. It's about these Christians. They claim to be from your nation, but man, you should see the things they do all the time, blaming it on you. Manifest destiny, genocide, maximized profit, sterilization, raping the earth, lying, taking more than they need in all the forms of the greed. We ask them why. They say it's God's will. Damn God, they make it so hard. Remember Jesus? Would you send him back to them? Tell them not to kill him. Rather they should listen. Stop abusing his name and yours. We do not mean to be disrespectful, but you know how it is. Our people have their own ways. We never even heard of you until not long ago. Your representative spoke magnificent things of you, which we were willing to believe. But from the way they acted, we know you and we were being deceived. We do not mean you or your Christian children any bad, but you all came to take all we had. We have not seen you, but we have heard so much. It is time for you to decide what life is worth. We already remember, but maybe you forgot. Look at us. Look at us. We are of earth and water. Look at them. It is the same. Look at us. We are suffering all these years. Look at them. They are connected. Look at us. We are in pain. Look at them, surprised at our anger. Look at us. We are struggling to survive. Look at them, expecting sorrow be benign. Look at us. We are the ones called pagan. Look at them on their arrival. Look at us.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess it's my turn now.
Expecting sorrow be benign. Look at us. We are the ones called pagan. Look at them on their arrival. Look at us. We are called subversive. Look at them descending from name callers. Look at us. We wept sadly in the long dark. Look at them hiding in technologic light. Look at us. We buried the generations. Look at them inventing the body count. Look at us. We are older than America. Look at them chasing a fountain of youth. Look at us. We are embracing Earth. Look at them clutching today. Look at us, we are living in the generations. Look at them, existing in jobs and debt. Look at us, we have escaped many times. Look at them, they cannot remember. Look at us, we are healing. Look at them, their medicine is patented. Look at us, we are trying. Look at them, what are they doing? Look at us, we are children of earth. Look at them, who are they?
Okay, there we go. We're off to a roaring start. Let's see. I've dropped the connection 2 or 3 times here, but we'll carry on. Yeah, we'll manage somehow. So my name's Lou Martin, and this is my little project called Spirit Talks. And you're very welcome. And how do you like my new haircut? Yes, very nice. My connection is weak, but my spirit is strong. And we just heard Native American poet John Trudell, who just left us in the last year, I think, here. And John's a living legend in the Native American community. Anyway, that was sent to me by someone just a few minutes ago, so that was divine timing. Because I'm always looking for music that, thank you, that the copyright is not going to be an issue there. So that's the dance here. Anyway, it's good to have you all. The computer just went off. The connection's gone several times, but we'll get it happening here. Let's see. So the idea here, if the Fates are with us, which we know they will be, yeah. I'm just getting my clarity here, is to chat for the next 40 minutes to an hour about some things that are dear to my heart, and I hope they are to yours. So I'm a channel, and I do, you know, spiritual studies and healing work, and channeled readings with individuals and groups. And Brenda and I are going to offer some Skype sessions over the next 3 days. And so we've just created a new post. There's Brenda. Hi, dear. Just created a new post for that. So the idea is, and you'll see that on my Facebook page, which you have to be following in order to see me here. So it's a safe bet that you can see it there. Yeah, I'll talk about that here before I finish. But let me get rolling on everything else. You know, I like to combine the news of the day with consciousness and the awakening of consciousness that's happening on Mother Earth, and there's plenty to talk about with those two things coming together, and then weave that into a more of a discussion about light work and excuse me, how to take our power back and how to work consciously with our spirit, with God, Goddess, all that is, with our spirit guides, and how to bring that energy out into our lives and out into the world in a way that works for us and works for the world as well. So it's a tall order, and we're all co-creating this together. It's really great to be here with you in this amazing way that continues to unfold. Some of you may have seen I did a talk on Saturday. There were like 250 people on the talk, which was great. Thank you for that. And but I used another song which Facebook was not happy with, so that got erased into the ethers. We go. So yeah, that was a shame, but a lesson learned. And then Tuesday night, I wanted to get on again, and literally couldn't manage to be able to do it for one reason or another. So there's Joanne, there's Jeanette, there's Judy, Chase. Hello everyone, my love to you all. Yeah, very good. Hello from Disney Studios in Burbank. Great, Judy. Yeah, I'll bet it's a little warmer there than it is here in Ireland at 11:15 at night. Yeah, so the first thing, of course, and the most pressing issue, and this is why I played John Trudell to open my little program here, is, of course, the Dakota Access Pipeline story once again. And if, let's see, if you haven't been following that story, I will catch you up at no extra charge here. The pipeline company used, well, they attacked the protectors. They call themselves not protesters, good for them, the water protectors, land protectors. They attacked them with dogs and pepper spray on Saturday. And then, where are we now? This is Thursday. Jill Stein was out there. Leonardo DiCaprio was out there. Some other people have been out there, and other people in other parts of the country supporting. Yeah, and which is great to see. And then today, oh yeah, Jill Stein, the Green Party presidential candidate, she spray painted. She met with Dennis Banks, and she was with her running mate Ajamu Baraka. I think I have that right now. And Jill Stein spray painted a what did it say? This message is approved by Jill Stein or something like that on the bulldozer. Once they were able to get the bulldozers stopped from tearing up the grave sites, not just the land but the grave sites of the ancestors. Yeah, that's some respect for you there. And now Jill Stein has an arrest warrant or some such thing after her, and she's in deep trouble for spray painting the bulldozers. But of course, the people who yeah, back again. Okay, so on we go. Sorry, I'm seeing my own image, which is always a bit weird. Okay, so today's news is that the National Guard has been approved to try and pull the indigenous people off their own land, and they've also approved weaponized drones. North Dakota has become the first state in the U.S. to approve weaponized drones today. So the clash of the paradigms is heating up, my friends. So keep all of that, of course. Let's keep all of that and those people involved in that directly in our thoughts and prayers. They're very brave, and it's starting to get a little ugly, and so they really need our attention. And of course, the corporate media pretends that this is not happening because it doesn't serve their purposes. So that's the way that's going. Yeah, exactly. Yes, makes us all very angry. So let's see if I can redo what I had already cranked up here a few minutes ago. In my little talk for where am I? Tuesday, I had a few things, so I'm just trying to re-queue them up here for you. Let's see. Oh yeah, Tuesday week. We channeled this, me and my friends, we channeled this very nice prayer here. And I'm kind of wanting to start off with that, if I can. And I think I can, yeah. So this is called I Choose to Believe. And I had a nice quote from Tich Nat Hahn about love. Yeah, do I have that? Yes. Thich Nhat Hanh says, true love does not foster suffering or attachment. On the contrary, it brings well-being to ourselves and to others. This is gorgeous. Let this one in. This will be the contrast from the violence and the sadness. True love is generated from within. For true love to be there, you need to feel complete in yourself, not needing something from outside. True love is like the sun, shining with its own light and offering that light to everyone. Beautiful. And I'm sure you all know Thich Nhat Hanh, but if you don't, he's still with us. He had a little health scare last year as well. He's come to Ireland. He's, I guess he's in his 80s now. He's a Buddhist monk from Vietnam who actually won the Nobel Peace Prize during the Vietnam War, if I remember correctly. And I got to see him twice when I was living in Los Angeles. He's extraordinary. I'll write his name in the notes, Tich Nat Hahn. So here's Brenda and my version of I Choose to Believe. So we'll just kind of focus on this. We'll put a bit of a prayer here at the beginning, and then I'll see where we go from there. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath, yeah, if you like. Let's come together here in this moment and allow yourself to come to peace. Take a deep breath. Relax and release. Relax and release. Relax and release. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you are poised in your journey at a powerful moment once again. You are choosing your path. You are choosing not to leave anything behind, but to really reach for that which you have dared not imagine possible, that you might have thought was too good to be true, as the saying goes. We like to ask our friends, how good can you stand it? Let us say that this is the energy that is truly coming into your world at this time. In other words, becoming unconditional in moments like this. There are many dreams and desires that you hold in your heart, for yourself, for your loved ones, for your world. And so often there is a feeling of yearning and hoping and wishing. And yet so often there is the energy of disappointment or confusion or feelings of lack or struggle, right? To really let love be more powerful than your previous experience is to step into a true moment, a holy moment, a transformational moment. We invite you here and over the next few days, as the energies of this profound opening begin to weave their way into your life and whisper their way into your ear, that you give yourself every opportunity to tell yourself, and here's the affirmative prayer, I choose to believe. Put a hand to the heart if you like. I choose to believe in my dreams. I choose to believe in a future that works for me and for my world. I choose to believe in a loving higher power that knows more and sees more than I know or see right now. Right. This is our invitation to you. Take a deep breath. This is our invitation to you. If you are willing to believe that, we will make a new agreement with you. Bless yourself, seal the energy, love yourself. Allow and open to this time and space to be transcendent and to be connected to the eternal of who you truly are, your soul and spirit, your higher self, and all of your guides and teachers in spirit who love and support you. We let it be, and so it is. Take a deep breath. Okay, very good. Thank you. So, one of the clips I had from Tuesday, which I'll play here tonight, is Matt Damon. There's a book which I've not read, honestly. It's called The People's History of the United States, but I'd like to read it at some point because basically it's just as it says. It's the retelling of the history of the U.S. from the point of view of all of the people, not just the whites, not just the wealthy, not just the Europeans, etc., etc. Yeah, but from the Africans and from the indigenous people, and so it tells the story from all sides. So let me just play a 5-minute clip here of Matt Damon reading from Howard Zinn's speech, The Problem is Civil Obedience. I'll try this.
I start from the supposition that the world is topsy-turvy, that things are all wrong, that the wrong people are in jail and the wrong people are out of jail, that the wrong people are in power and the wrong people are out of power, that the wealth is distributed in this country and the world in such a way as not simply to require small reform, but to require a drastic reallocation of wealth. I start from the supposition that we don't have to say too much about this, because all we have to do is think about the state of the world today and realize that things are all upside down. Now, if you don't think, if you just listen to TV and read scholarly things, you actually begin to think that things are not so bad, or that just little things are wrong. But you have to get a little detached and then come back and look at the world, and you are horrified. So we have to start from that supposition that things are really topsy-turvy. And our topic is topsy-turvy, civil disobedience. Now, as soon as you say the topic is civil disobedience, you're saying our problem is civil disobedience. That is not our problem. Our problem is civil obedience. Our problem is the numbers of people all over the world who have obeyed the dictates of the leaders of their government and have gone to war. And millions have been killed because of this obedience. We recognize this for Nazi Germany. That was wrong. They should have challenged. We would have showed them. Even in Stalin's Russia, we can understand that. People are obedient. All these herd-like people. Remember those bad old days when people were exploited by feudalism? Everything was terrible in the Middle Ages. But now we have Western civilization, the rule of law. The rule of law has regularized and maximized the injustice that existed before the rule of law. That is what the rule of law has done. When in all the nations of the world, the rule of law is the darling of the leaders and the plague of the people, we ought to begin to recognize this. We have to transcend these national boundaries in our thinking. Nixon and Brezhnev have much more in common with one another than we have with Nixon. J. Edgar Hoover has far more in common with the head of the Soviet secret police than he has with us. It's the international dedication to law and order that binds the leaders of all countries in a comradely bond. That's why we're always so surprised when they get together. They smile, they shake hands, they smoke cigars. They really like one another, no matter what they say. What we are trying to do, I assume, is really to get back to the principles and aims and spirit of the Declaration of Independence. This spirit is resistance to illegitimate authority and to forces that deprive people of their life and liberty and right to pursue happiness. And therefore, under these conditions, it urges the right to alter or abolish their current form of government, and the stress had been on abolish. But to establish the principles of the Declaration of Independence, we're going to need to go outside the law, to stop obeying the laws that demand killing or that allocate wealth the way it's been done, or that put people in jail for petty technical offenses and keep other people out of jail for enormous crimes. My hope is that this kind of spirit will take place not just in this country, but in other countries, because they all need it. People in all countries need the spirit of disobedience to the state, which is not a metaphysical thing, but a thing of force and wealth. And we need a kind of declaration of interdependence among people in all countries of the world who are striving for the same thing.
Okay, I hope that worked somewhat. Yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's Howard Zinn was he's passed on. He's a good guy, and his book People's History of the U.S. is well worth knowing about. So there we go. And again, I love that clip because thank you. It refers to the Declaration of Independence. A few weeks ago, I read the Irish proclamation of 1916. And here I'm looking at myself again. There we go. I do plenty of that. And thank you. Oh, that's nice. That's great. Okay, good. Thumbs up. Lovely. We're communicating. Thank you. So this is it between John Trudell, and some of you may not have heard that, so I might play that again before I'm done here. You know, Howard Zinn and Matt Damon did a fine job. You know, I think we all know that we're fighting a great battle here in one way or another. Jill Stein, yeah. So one of Jill Stein's proposals is that there be a tribunal. There's a word you don't hear every day, of reconciliation. Yeah, and this is what Mandela did in South Africa after he got released after being imprisoned for 30-some years, and then yeah, shortly after that became president of the country. And instead of a bloodbath, which many people might have expected, of the blacks now in power having it out on the whites, who had brutalized them through apartheid for many, many decades, Mandela said, no, we're going to forgive. And the way we're going to learn to forgive is we're going to have the people that have been abused confront their abusers. And this is pretty much what Jill Stein has recommended as an idea to heal, to try to heal, to begin to heal the struggles between whites and blacks in the U.S. And as I said earlier, she's gone to the Dakota Pipeline, the Standing Rock site is what it's called now, or it's called. And you know, I didn't know that this protest really began in April. And here we are in the middle of September. And, you know, people have been there all this time. There's about 8,000 people there at this point. And, yeah, it's, so again, they need our prayers and our good wishes here. So, what else can I share with you here tonight? Well, okay, I got into a great conversation with one of my friends here tonight. I'm going to share this with you. My dear friend Dorit in Portland, not Seattle. We were talking about voting versus not voting, and we're talking about the elections, and I was citing all the evidence that, you know, that Bernie should have won the primary in a landslide, beating Hillary Clinton by a far margin. You know, I mean, again, there was something like 2 million votes thrown away in California, just disappeared. And that was the worst example of voter fraud, but certainly not the only one. There were many, many others, beginning in Iowa and going through many of the rest of the states. So the game is rigged, and that's bad, right? And not only is the game rigged, but the you know, the consciousness. I remain firmly convinced that Donald Trump is an employee of the Clintons because he's the best person to run against them. And I really don't believe, honestly, that Trump has any serious interest in being the president. I think he has his own agenda, and I don't think that's really included there. Oh, there's Aiden. Hi, my friend. So anyway, there's one more time. There's the show that happens in front of us from the media and the corporations and the governments, and that's, you know, be scared, stay in your place, don't think for yourself. You need us to protect you. Thank you. Yes? All right. We're back. And we have this clash of the paradigms in all these different areas. Okay. So let's talk spirituality, consciousness, metaphysics. Let's get down to the real subject, yeah? I'll just say again, what my guides offer to me and to anyone who's looking for more resources are really now four tools. Yeah, thank you. Meditation. I prefer to do guided meditation every day. Listen to other people other guides put me on that wavelength. Yeah, it's the quickest way I know to go really deep and to get connected, and it's what I've done for nearly 30 years. It works great. Guided meditation, then, affirmative prayer, not begging prayer, but this is so, this is what we're creating, that was what I choose to believe. Channeled from my guides is about, that's an example of an affirmative prayer. Journaling, keeping a journal, artist's way, 3 pages, stream of consciousness every morning. I feel this, I love this, I hate this, I'm excited about that, etc. Abraham talks about keeping a notebook of positive aspects. So, what I do is I skew it towards the positive, and then I underline everything that I'm really happy about. I put little stars next to it. So, I'm giving my subconscious the message that these are the things I'm really excited about, So taking the energy out of the drama, which is what the ego, lives for, and putting it into the joy, the happiness. Yeah, I love that affirmation. That was the other part of it. There was a second part to that prayer where my guides say, I choose to believe that I am created by a loving higher power that is bringing more good, more joy, and more love into my life. That's a winner for me. I hope for you as well. And then the fourth one really is, and this has become more clear as I've done these talks, thank you, is that is anything that's inspiring, anything that's uplifting, anything that's empowering. So as I say, I try to kind of, get from the dark side of things or the challenging side of things to the light side of things. So we're coming into the light now. Each of us has our own higher self, soul, and spirit. And this principally works through the unconscious mind and the emotional body. And this is why everything centers so profoundly in this human spiritual journey around the heart. So you cannot think your way to God. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe. When we come to, I'll say it again here for my guides, when we have this pillar of self, the pyramid of self, the conscious mind, which we bring to peace, the heart, which we learn to feel safe, loved, and supported, so we open the heart, and then spirit, who is unconditional because it does not violate its own nature. Its will is God's will. There is no separation. In that place of quiet and peace, then spirit can reconnect with us, and how we know we're feeling that is ultimately we come to inspiration. And so, as my guides say, the choice is very simple. It's desperation versus inspiration, or as they like to also say, it's humility versus humiliation. So to be inspired and to be humble is obviously much more fun than to be desperate and to be humiliated, speaking from personal experience. Yeah. So anyway, there we go. I'm having a laugh at my own expense. That's always a relief. So to take ourselves, to be gentle with ourselves, to lighten up, to be playful, to find those things and those moments, where we can really be inspired. And then, the secret, if you like, is to let that inspiration carry us, right? And so, I was talking, and I started to say with my friend Dorrit about one thing and another today, and we got into, of course, the word should, S-H-O-U-L-D, and I've heard now, in every session I do, that, when people say that word, that's always the red light, that somehow the authority figure in our consciousness, the critical parent is the archetypal term for that, has started to dictate the agenda. You should do this, you should do that, you should know this, you should know better, you should. And, what I've learned is that if I will let that word out of my vocabulary, and if I will help people learn to do that as well, that's my invitation to you here and now, then you can substitute that with I want, or I seek, or I ask, or I'm intending, or I'm desiring, anything but that should word, because should and supposed to, have to, and must, of course, those are all statements of duty and obligation. And that's what we learn as the wounded inner child with the critical parent, that I should and I must, I have to, etc., etc. And honestly, to connect that with what I've been talking about so far, that is the way the world works, you know, that government and corporations and the military and all the rest, you know, play this role of the critical and punishing parent. Yeah, it's very good, Judy. Well done. You've learned. Yes, Judy says she never says that. Excellent. And so it makes life a lot more conscious, you know, and it puts us in power. Power, responsibility, yeah, taking our power back, forgiveness, inspiration, yeah, when we do make mistakes, okay, because we will all do that, and we do take ourselves too seriously, and we do turn up the pressure inside of our own mind, or the world puts pressure on us, that's what the negative ego, yeah, or as the Course just says, the ego, that's what the negative ego looks for, lives for, waits for. Because, you know, the negative ego is the part of us that not only has experienced struggle, but that lives for struggle. Yes, and this is the source of all addiction and all pain and all struggle in our lives, is the belief, not true, but the belief that somehow at the core of our being, we're not enough, there isn't enough, we're not doing it right, yeah, we've made some terrible mistake, etc., etc. Yeah, Varun, I'll just leave that with you. Yeah, and so it's never true. We are all deserving of love, and the way to come from struggle back into love is to forgive, or to have compassion, or to have a laugh, or to accept ourselves. Yeah, and again, at the core of our being, you see, to get back to transcendent states and mystical states, and then I want to talk about the eclipse here in a minute. At the core of our being, we are perfect peace, and we are unconditional love. And the challenge for all of us is to remain conscious of that connection. And so you see this from people that have a spiritual practice. As I've said before, the greatest gift of a spiritual practice is peace of mind, which is you have enough practice of aligning the outer self, the mind, the perception of the outer self, and the inner self, the spirit, through a calm heart, a peaceful heart, a courageous heart, responsible heart, yes, past the victims, the shoulds, the blames, all of that, yeah, back into a place of peace. And you see, again here, this is what I want to talk about, the eclipse that's coming up. If we will consciously practice peace as often and as deeply as possible, thank you, Richard, then we come into a space for grace, you see. And this is what miracles is about. So I want to say a few things here before we finish with a prayer or meditation. So we had one lunar eclipse a couple weeks ago. We had the nearly total solar eclipse, not completely, but nearly, a few days ago, yeah, the first, yeah, with the new moon. And then we have the next lunar eclipse happening, I believe, on the 19th. I think that's about right, yeah. And then we have the, if that's wrong, oh, there's an astrologer right now, yes. John Fife, welcome, yeah. And then we have the next lunar eclipse, you know, in about 10 days or so. That's my understanding. And then after that, we have the autumnal equinox. So what all the astrologers, Patricia Cota-Robles, my teacher Lazarus, you know, every authority I look to understand my crystal ball and my research, they're all saying, you know, hang on everyone, this is a bumpy time. And really, it's what my guides channeled at some point here, I think it was Saturday night, is we're kind of at the top of the mountain, which is that since 2012, December 2012, energetically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, karmically, whatever way you want to describe it, this is my understanding, we've been climbing this mountain. And this has all been about opening our hearts. And myself and everyone I know has really been challenged with and invited to heal and to forgive and to release and to clean up and clear up and take responsibility and make amends and get right and get straight and get with the program and all of that. So yeah, I'm sure I'm not alone with all of that. There's my buddy Craig. Hey, so we're coming down the home stretch of this particular cycle. Bashar is another one, of course, who talks about this. And the message is basically after the autumnal equinox, it's going to be harder to get on the higher vibration and easier to kind of get swept into the lower vibration. I know that seems a bit paradoxical. Maybe I'm saying it the opposite way that it really is, but that's sort of the way it feels. So it's like we're trying to get through this initiation. Yeah, help me out here if anyone else can say this better than I can. We're trying to get through this initiation, and we're nearly there. And it's been 4 years, yeah, nearly, yeah, 4 years. And so we're coming to the end of 2016. Okay, thank you. These are tempestuous times calling for tempestuous magic. Magic that is alive with intensity and brimming with passion. In the depths of your being, you can find your new voice. Lift that voice with the light of hope. Be heard during these troubling and trembling times. With the light of hope and a touch of personal greatness, co-creation can come alive and you can change the world. Okay, there, managed to get that. Dare I speak? Okay. Yeah, apologies. Okay, we'll hope for the best. Yeah, all right. So anyway, we're coming through this cycle, this initiation. It's very powerful. Yeah. So those are the resources that I have to remind you of. Okay, I've moved. Okay, let's hope this works. Yeah, anyway. Thank you. Apologies for the poor signal. Yeah. We'll just carry on. Maybe I'm just going to finish up with that. Dare I try? Okay, I'm out of here. I can take a hint. That's it. Yeah, I hope you get the message. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, at least I got on tonight. At least it's not going to be erased. Thank you, God. What else? Yeah. Okay, you're all very good to put up with.